r/AskReddit. People who lost their job due to this crisis. What is your story? Yeah, I just got hired last week, but I think that my first workday isn't gonna happen. That sucks. Be strong, buddy. I'm a server. I haven't worked since the 14th, but was officially laid off on the 18th. Where I am, temporary layoff is only 60 days. If we are not back by then, we lose our jobs permanently. It couldn't have come at a worse time since we have new management and there's been some murmurs about getting new staff. I was about to lose my apartment, unrelated, but my landlord phoned me up to let me know that he is no longer making me leave and not to worry about April rent. He also gave me $150 to go buy groceries. He's a bro. I'm trying to get through to EI, which is all online right now, but the site keeps crashing, so I'm unable to make a claim right now. I'm trying to get through to EI, which is all online right now, but the site keeps crashing, so I'm unable to make a claim right now. Try getting up in the middle of the night where you are, like 3 AM, and try then. The web traffic will be lower. I'm sitting in a meeting right now, waiting to get fired. The VP is running late, so that's cool. Edit. They gave us basic info but are talking to everyone individually, so who knows still. Edit 2. Laid off. They can't fire you if you fire them first and take their job. I was laid off from my 5-year graphic design job, working for a screen printing and promotional products company. About half of our business involves schools, sports, and events. Obviously none of that is happening currently, so our business has stagnated. They are going to try to operate with a skeleton crew for the next couple months. The hope is to bring everyone back eventually, but I'm not optimistic. Solidarity. I'm a web developer, pretty much the same industry. Fabric decor, projection screens, giant shade structures, etc. I'm optimistic things will bounce back eventually, and I trust my CEO that I will be called back when that happens. He's always been extremely good to all of the employees, and we're good friends at this point, but I'm not optimistic that it'll happen within the next few months. I got a call congratulating me on getting a job 2 days before a hiring freeze went into place at the university I applied to. I never saw my contract, nor do I have any work. Edit. Thank you for the gold. I wish it had been on a cheerier post. We're in this together and we'll get through it together, a step at a time. Look after one another, be considerate, and be kind to yourselves. Here's hoping this blows over sooner rather than later. They wanted a co-worker and I to reduce our hours to half each, because they could only afford one of us and didn't want to make a redundancy. In the end, I took the redundancy. I'm 21 and live at home. Meals provided. My co-worker is a 30-year homeowner with bills and an unemployed girlfriend. Him losing half his income for me seemed wrong. Better me than him. Just lost it about an hour ago. I'm a restaurant manager and they called me and told me to turn in my keys by the end of the day. I'm in quarantine and can't. They are sending me a UPS box so I can send in my keys and told me to file for unemployment. Never expected this to happen to me. I'm in shock. IDK what I'm going to do. Hey, thanks for the well wishes and advice. I live in NJ and I already filed last night. Everyone else in my shoes read these comments. On top of being really sick, it was a kick to the stomach, but we will get through it. I wonder if it's temporary so you can get unemployment and then they'll hire you back later on. If you are in the UK, the major supermarkets are on a recruitment drive with a fast turnaround of getting people in position. I know this isn't a story about losing a job, but hopefully this helps someone coming to this thread. I'm in the state of Ohio in the US and I'm seeing a lot of those opportunities too. Construction. The whole construction site was laid off, and with the way things are going, the company owner thinks it'll be at least a year before they consider hiring me back. Started 3 months ago, and that's at least 50 other people affected. Just for this site, the company had several other sites that they laid off employees too. I'm just lucky I'm still living with my parents, and dad works as online IT for the general public, so he's nice and busy. Edit. Sign everyone and their dog is asking. I'm in Canada, Alberta. The site I was on was shut down by the owner. Beyond that, IDK. And thanks to the bunch of you that offered to help hire. I was kinda surprised at that. Not me, but my wife has been told that basically we'll call you if we need you. And they don't really need anyone tbh. She hasn't worked a minute since the 13th. And my sister was a bartender at an arcade. So she's totally ducked. She's been laid off with the promise of reinstatement when they reopen. It's almost worse to be left in limbo like this than it is just to be fired outright. I was laid off indefinitely from 2 different hourly paying line cooking jobs on Monday, 50 hours combined week. I helped clean out one of the restaurants Wednesday. We discarded a lot of stuff. I helped clean out all of the coolers and throw away a lot of prepped food that people couldn't take home. Employees were encouraged to take what they wanted. Produce, dairy, meat, etc. The place is almost completely empty. It's surreal. My spouse was laid off indefinitely Wednesday. She manages a restaurant and is salary W benefits. 50 HRS week. She was told that management will not be paid until the place reopens. Our family currently has no work or income. We have a young child. These are very uncertain times. Edit update. We are healthy and staying happy. Lots of extra time to play with the kiddo. We have food, water and other saved resources. We are exploring unemployment insurance and a couple of other options. Thanks for all of the love. This story could be the same for millions right now. Take care of your family and neighbors. Try to spend and shop local. We get past this together. I'm a substitute teacher. If you are aware that most schools are closing if they haven't already, then that should explain why all subs are now effectively unemployed. It's unlikely that schools will return during this situation. So yes, thousands of people are out of work just from that alone. Subs don't make salary, so any employee who is hourly or paid by day now needs to scramble. Edit. Because so many people are unsure whether they should file for unemployment or not and are in a similar situation. Being a substitute or a different employee that was hourly or a position that was cut due to our current circumstances. Please do. You absolutely can and should file for unemployment. It may take some time with the influx of applications. But this situation is what that government service is for. I extend my best wishes to everyone and their friends and families. I hope you all stay healthy and hold on to hope. Be smart and safe. I haven't been laid off, but I answer for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline and we are having so many calls where someone is thinking about killing themselves because they were laid off. It's absolutely awful. I have no answers for these people, and I wish I had the power to provide for them. Hey, I also answer calls for Lifeline and the Disaster and Distress Helpline. It's ducking rough on the lines right now. Sending you lots of support and love. Red Heart. My experience is pretty unique. In a nutshell, my wife and I live in New Zealand and had planned a 2-year working visa in Toronto. We were supposed to leave in April, so we had obviously already handed in our notices of resignation to our bosses. Long story short, Canada shut its borders and my boss has already hired my replacement. As a side note, they shut the borders on my birthday. I worked at Hyatt. I was hired as an intern fresh out of college for a year. Most of Hyatt's interns were actually internationals from Europe. Hyatt paid us minimum wage, which is crazy once you learn how expensive NYC is. 2 months ago they recently hired a guy from the Netherlands and just 2 weeks ago another girl also from the Netherlands have just moved to NYC for this internship and had moved to her apartment just last week. 2 days ago HR called us for a meeting and said effective Monday we were no longer employed by Hyatt. They refused to pay us any of our sick or personal days, which I had 7 days worth. For the interns that have recently moved to NYC, HR basically said you're on your own, not our problem, nothing we can do to help. So, being laid off is one thing, but having the HR director tell us that they were not intending in paying any of our sick days or personal days was a slap in the face and a massive dong move. I had intended to work till Saturday, which was my last scheduled day. Since they were not paying my sick days, I just called off my last 3 days so I can at least get 3 sick days paid. Hyatt's saying is we care for people so they can be their best. They really showed their true colors and I would never work for Hyatt or stay in any of their property for as long as I live. Edit. Didn't expect this to blow up. Just a few things to mention. I'm not trying to cause a riot of any sort. I'm getting paid my accrued vacation only, as some have mentioned. NY doesn't require for sick days to be paid, so I've come to terms with that. Also, this was just my experience. I'm not discouraging the use of hired. Don't let this post be the make it or break it on whether or not you stay at hired. This was just me venting. For the people that have PM me asking if I'm okay, thanks. But I will be alright. Good night everyone. I haven't lost my job, but my small software company instituted 30% pay cut across the board. They say it'll be re-evaluated every month. Clients keep cancelling or postponing projects, so I'm good this month, but could easily lose it next month. I'm just happy they decided to cut pay instead of fire 30% of the workforce, so everyone can keep their health coverage. That, and I'm not sure I wouldn't have been part of that 30%. My job as a barista was shut down for safety and because nobody is coming in anyway. And my summer job, teaching kids how to swim at a sleepaway camp, is cancelled because the camp decided not to open. While I'm not in danger of losing my house or starving, I am now unable to afford to continue going to college next semester. Edit. Somebody gave me gold. I don't actually know what that means since I'm new to Reddit, but I hope whoever gave it, and the rest of y'all, are safe and healthy. My husband got laid off on Tuesday. He works about 3 minutes down the road from my work. He showed up at my work with tears in his eyes, apologizing to me for not doing good enough to be kept. He works at a car dealership as an auto technician, where they let go of 4 techs that day cause of decreasing business. They're letting go of more people this Saturday. My brother is a mechanic there, and is scared to lose his job too. They told my husband that when business picks back up, they might call and ask him to come work for them again. Thankfully, I work in the lab of a hospital, so my job is pretty secure. I keep telling my husband that we'll get through it, but I know it's taking a toll on him. Last hired, first fired. The owner loves me, but she couldn't keep us all on, so it was only fair. My side gig is dog walking, which is ducking slow BC. No one's leaving their houses these days. God bless the biddy whose dogs I walk every day. My girlfriend works for Marriott and basically lost her job. They told her they'll call her when they need the staff again. She tried to apply for unemployment and was denied because Marriott has her as an employee who works 0 hours. So for the time being, I'm taking over her financial responsibilities. I have just read that 18% of US workers have lost jobs or hours. I just finished my training as a flight attendant for a major European airline. It's been a dream of mine and I have been putting my love and energy into this training for the past months. I'm in Cancun right now and it's bittersweet because it's absolutely beautiful here. But at the same time, this was my last training flight. I'm now a fully trained flight attendant and yet no one knows when me and my other new colleagues will actually be getting our work contracts since the airline industry is suffering a lot right now. I think I will cry when landing back in Frankfurt tonight, because I don't know when will be my next flight, but I will put on a brave face and genuine smile for our passengers. At least I will do my best. Manager at a movie theater. I already saw it coming, so it wasn't that shocking to hear. We were only seeing about 200 people a weekday, down from our average of 900. Got called in by the GM and we were told that we were closing indefinitely. It's looking like 6-12 weeks. I'm fortunate enough to have enough money saved that it isn't really an issue for me, but it really upset me knowing that a lot of the people who work in the building have no other source of income and scrape by with their paychecks. Fingers crossed it's 6 weeks, maybe less. Classical musician here. Every orchestra had to cancel concerts for the next 8 weeks. Unsure if any of the concerts will be rescheduled. Many orchestras are waiting to see if the Act of God clause will be applied. If that is the case, musicians will not be paid. Most summer orchestras are still programmed, but there is high chance will be shut down as well. Edit. In the US, I was a bartender. The bars and restaurants were shut down. I was actually relieved because, not gonna lie, I was afraid of dealing with so many people and all the glasses. People would have just kept coming too if the state hadn't shut us down. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.